I am here with Sam, our head of strategy and paid media, for another episode of Marketing, a marketing agency. It's the Q1 edition, which means we're covering the months of July through to September of 2023 in the Australian financial year. So, first things first, let's get straight to it. Sam, what's been going on?
Yep. Thank you very much first for having me in this podcast. Really appreciate it. So that first quarter of the year, I think it has been such a great quarter because of some of the changes that we've done in marketing, and we have had really, really good success. You know,
Yeah.
I know people. There is a lot of people who are complaining and they are unable to get even the Facebook ads to work for their own agencies because it's hard. It's hard doing marketing for an agency, right? Because of the copy, because of understanding the customer, really well. But I think for us over the years, we've been able to master the customer that we are targeting.
Yep.
And it has been really good in terms of the copy that you are writing right now, the type of creatives that you're doing. It's really helping us to target the people that we want. Right now, the platform is working. There is a lot of changes that have been done on Facebook in terms of targeting and what they want. They want people to go broad. They want people to give it a lot of flexibility. And so people are wondering, then how do I get ahead? And I think we are going to be discussing all those issues, during this podcast, and it will be great.
Yeah, 100%. And I think as a bit of a recap, we can talk about Q4 last financial year for the agency. Now, if you've watched the first episode of Marketing, a Marketing Agency, which Sam and I had done, I don't know, a few months back now, I think it was in early July when we did it. Please do check through that because you're going to see quite the growth curve of what we're doing, how we're managing things, and how the business is evolving for the betterment of not only our clients, but also our own team members. Like, everyone's happier, including myself as the director. Sam's, leveling up, everyone's growing and expanding. But what's really important for everyone to tune into today is that this is the demonstration to you that marketing isn't always perfect. Even marketing, a marketing agency, isn't always perfect. In fact, it's been reported many a times by digitalmarketer.com that 2 out of 10 marketing endeavors actually work, which means for every fifth endeavor, you have a winner. So you have 4 failures, 1 winner, 4 failures, 1 winner. But it's through learning what a failure looks like in pretty clear, vivid ways that you can master the power of creating winning campaigns and promotions. So let's just do a little bit of a recap in regards to our direct response advertising efforts in the months of April through to June. No, so April, May, June. Yeah, correct. That's it. Because I think what's really important here is that we have been doing all sorts of weird stuff at O&D Digital. We've been doing podcasts. We've been generating blog content for SEO purposes. We've been doing on-page SEO. But where we want to tap into today is all of that, but more importantly, what are paid ads doing for our agency? What have we had a crack at? Why didn't it work? And here is the story. So let's just start off with our month. Let me quickly log into HubSpot, though. Funnily enough, today we use HubSpot, as everyone knows who listens to this podcast, exclusively for our own agency and for our clients. So if you are looking to get a full end-to-end snapshot of your marketing and your sales and determine a true revenue-driven and essentially a channel-driven growth strategy, get in touch with us today. We can help you out. We are a HubSpot provider. So let me know if you would need any CRM updates with HubSpot and to truly leverage that power, get in touch with us today. But let's get into our own stuff. So
Yeah.
in April last year, no, April last financial year, which was only a few months ago, we were running Facebook ads, Sam. Now, just to give you an idea, we don't spend a huge amount of money. We're not a huge agency. But in April, all this year, in the 30 days of advertising, we spent $1,200 and generated only one lead.
Imagine that.
It's crazy, isn't it? And that's because of the fact that we were doing the wrong things. And that's the
Yeah.
best part about advertising. You could admit that you've cocked up. It's very obvious when you do because it costs you lots of money.
Yeah. And I remember, I think that's when we had our offer wrong. You know, we knew
yeah, I actually think it was a different campaign altogether, Sam. So based on what I can see, it was our friendly chat campaign. So just to give you guys an understanding who are listening today, our friendly chat campaign was literally a standard run-of-the-mill campaign telling the world a little bit about ourselves and how we have a messaging first approach and how we really tap into demographics and psychographics to really uncover what keeps people up at night, to drive them to the homepage to book a friendly chat. And that was only a one lead campaign, which is a complete failure coming from a direct response marketing agency. But that's okay. What are your thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, I think this is what I'm talking about. You know, thinking that we have the right. I know we had a previous offer where we were targeting, and the offer was a website. You know, but this time the offer was that friendly chat. Right? That's what we were selling. That's what we wanted people to come sign up to actually have a friendly chat. Now, and this was a big learning for us because, you know, we understood our customers are actually people who have tried. You know, our ideal customer is somebody who's have actually tried doing Facebook ads. They have tried doing whether it's Google ads. They have tried and they have failed. So really, they are not looking for a friendly chat. They are looking for really concrete solutions. Somebody who can actually go ahead and tell them, this is where you're going wrong. This is the things you can do. We could have probably a full stack understanding. We send them the questionnaires and everything to understand them. They want something that can work, you know, for them. So a 10-minute friendly chat, I think, you know, it wasn't something that our ideal customers would have, you know, wanted to have. And even speaking to most of them, you know, they want real solutions. You know, they want real solutions. So I think, you know, one of the learning that we did there was to understand that we need to go further. You know, we need to go further in our offer. We want to be more concrete, have real solutions for our customers, and then also in the messaging. Because I think that's where we were also failing. We had with our friendly chat, we had these creative. Those were static images, right? We had static images, and I remember me asking you to go ahead and you know, let's try videos. You know, and I think videos were our breakthrough. You know, even with that,
they were indeed.
They were our breakthrough, and now even with that offer, we are able to capture people's attention, give them more information in our 30-second, 1-minute videos, you know, and short, quick videos. I think those are really winning our audience, you know.
So and I think that's a really good place to lead into this. And this is just the recap, guys. Like this is where we were at. Like this was our initial point. Like we had static images, whipped together in like 5 minutes flat in Canva, trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to approach Facebook ads? Month one lead, $1,500 nearly spent. We just didn't do it right. The audience wanted more, and Sam was so right. They don't want to have a chat. They just want a concrete solution. They want to fix. And that's when Sam and I, Hannah, Kathleen, and the entire team went psycho in year-old May. Not only did we spend more than $1,000 on Facebook ads, and mind you, we're not a seven-figure agency. We're multi-six. We're not huge. We then decided to drop $2,800 on Facebook ads that next month. Now, this is when we generated 36 leads at $76 per lead. Now, what's interesting here is before we go deep on the campaigns, we actually decided in a moment of desperation to split our focus. This is so stupid. So we pretty much made all the mistakes junior advertisers make, but often when you're marketing your own business, you are emotional as hell. It's just part of the thing. You can't be detached from it. And often that's why as a founder, you should not be calling the shots on your own advertising a lot of the time, because you're too in it. And that's why it's good where Sam and I start to work now. What we did in May, guys, was an absolute shocker. What we decided to do was run a promotion to generate all these painting business clients. Funnily enough, we're a SaaS marketing agency. Don't even actually know, I have to spill the beans on this. We thought it would be easy to generate the leads. It was easy to generate the leads. But what we found with painting clients, they need a whole lot more nurturing than a SaaS customer. And it was just more of a boiler room operation for a company that doesn't have a boiler room of salespeople. It's not an ideal way to grow the business. We are purely inbound. I'm the only person that does sales. So if you're listening to this podcast and you want to grow your business, you're not going to be, and if you get in touch with us via any of the forms or the links in this podcast notes, you're going to be talking to me, funnily enough. It's no one else. We're purely inbound, our agency, and we're very proud about that. However, what I'm happy to admit was that chasing painting leads wasn't a great idea, but it generated us lots of results. The other mistake we made, Sam, what was it? It was the free
website.
Oh, don't even get me started. It gives me nightmares. So, guys, we had this banger offer where essentially you could get a free website with us if you partnered to market with us for a full 12 months. Believe it or not, through both of these campaigns, we generated 0 sales. We couldn't even give away a $15,000 website for free. It was nuts. We couldn't even do it. We couldn't even sign a single client up for 12 months with a marketing agency. They get a website for free. It was almost a too good to be true offer, but it was not. But we just couldn't get it over the line. So I guess what's interesting here, everybody, is that, you can sometimes develop an offer and it falls flat on its face. And, Sam and I, we've developed offers for clients and they've absolutely skyrocketed. Some have fallen flat, but then we've had to redevelop them. And then with minor tweaks, they've been able to scale up. But let's go through the numbers here, Sam. 36 leads at $76 per lead. Within this campaign, within this month of May, though, we also did something very smart. We did some lead magnets. So did you want to talk about the lead magnets we developed, Sam? If you remember, it's okay. It's been a while if you've forgotten.
It's been a while. I think we had a Google checklist, Google Ads checklist.
We had a Google Ads checklist. Yep.
We had. Is that the month that we also had LinkedIn mastery?
We did. We also had a Facebook ads checklist and one more, a SaaS user growth guide. Now, this is where it was funny, right? Like we all thought, oh, yep, the Facebook ads checklist is going to go hard. Everyone's going to want the Facebook ads checklist. What happened, Sam?
Yeah, so interesting. And this is now where we started understanding who our ideal customer is.
Yep.
Facebook fell flat. Our Facebook lead checklist fell flat. We didn't generate the leads that we wanted there. But something that is very interesting is that LinkedIn then picked, Now, what did that tell us about our ideal customer? Is that
Mm-hmm.
they have actually tried Facebook. They don't want a
Mm-hmm.
checklist on Facebook. They have tried it. They were very much interested in LinkedIn because that's a platform that they wanted to try out. Google Ads was also working a little bit better because they were
Mm-hmm.
also looking into that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is where we understood that our ideal customer is somebody who have actually tried these things. They have tried it. They have probably engaged other agencies. They have failed, or they are having challenges. And now, for us, we need to come to be better. You know, this is where now you start growing. You start growing now to the tip of that triangle, becoming better and becoming a leader in your own industry, so that now your your ideal customer can now relate, can now see what you're talking about is actually what they are going through, you know. And
Yep.
I think that was a necessary growth process. You can, and
Mm-hmm.
this is where I say it's very important to have a mindset of testing. You know, your mind should always be, I'm testing this, I'm testing this. You know, if it fails, go on to the next one, go on to the next offer. Think about other offers. Think about those offers even outside the box. You know, the outside the box type of thinking,
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
test those things out, because at that level, at that extra mile, that's where you
Mm-hmm.
start getting solutions. And for us, it's in the extra mile, going an extra mile, understanding our ideal customer a little bit better than others, understanding
Yep.
what they are going through a little bit better. That's where we have found success, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very interesting going through, and also understand, seeing, even going through it right now. I can see our growth, you know, starting from a flavor chart, going on to our website offer, now going to lead magnets, and then, you know, going through, as we are going to see through the months, coming up with really good creatives to sell our offers, and then gaining success, you know, at a point where we can say now we are talking to our ideal customer. We are able to get into their problems and actually speak to them, you know, what it is that they have in their mind at that moment. We are able to capture that in and then speak to it in a way that we are able to elicit an action. And
Yeah.
that's for us was a great breakthrough, I would say. And you don't
Massive
get to that
breakthrough.
point,
Yeah.
you don't go to that point without testing a lot, without understanding even the way to write that copy, and to come
Yep.
up with good scripts, you know, for your video.
Yeah. And guys, I think what's really interesting here was that it was the full workflow as a team, like to get a solid marketing effort together, you need to develop a great strategy. Within that strategy, you need a great offer. Once you've developed your strategy, you've got an offer, you then need to think about, okay, what does that marketing journey look like? We've got an ad, we've got a landing page, we have a lead form, we have a calendar booking system, whether it's HubSpot, then we've got to get them onto the sales call. We've got email flows. We had to launch this out in record time.
Mm,
Okay. And we rallied together as a team to get this done. I'm looking at the data on my end, and it looks like of the 36 leads, it was really interesting, guys, is that in our first iteration of these campaigns, we still hadn't closed a single client from any of these ads. And it was
mm,
really interesting because I'm looking at all the leads that came through in May, and there were some really high quality SaaS customers that came through. Now,
mm,
what was really interesting here was that, oh, okay, well, we thought we may just have, whacked together a lead form campaign to get some people through the door. But it was really interesting that my initial preconception around lead form campaigns on Facebook was that the quality of leads is low, which it's not. It's actually quite high. What needs to
mm,
be crucial in the way you develop a lead magnet campaign using Facebook lead forms is the quality of the content that you're gating. So
mm,
what we saw was that for our SaaS user growth guide, we had really high quality mid-size and startup SaaSes coming through the door, landing on calls, 100% show up rate, strong rapport built from a sales perspective, and whether they went with us or they went with somebody else wasn't often because of the sales process and the way we saw things. It was more often than not their timing. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Or they may have been too small. We would have had a great conversation. But what we found here was that if your gated content or your lead magnet is so good and it's so targeted and it speaks directly to that person's needs, people are more than likely going to show up to your call because of the fact that you are that specialist that can actually help them. So
Yeah.
that was like a massive breakthrough for us. Now,
Yeah.
in the last month of our last quarter, which was June, we started to see even better results from what I remember. But we
Yeah.
spent a whole lot more. We spent about $3,500. So we spent $3,469 and we generated 70 leads at $50 a lead. So we absolutely smacked it out of the park in terms of number of leads that came through. And this is when we started just to be like, oh, okay, let's just go straight to our roots, focus on software. Let's get some high quality leads in the door and see what freaking happens.
Yeah,
You know?
and I think this is where the whole team at all, and then it came into play.
Yep.
I remember Hannah is the one giving you, that light bulb moment. Who
Yeah.
we are offering our website to SaaS companies.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing here? And this
Yep.
now in that month of May, that's when we started now realizing that we are giving an offer to our ideal customers, and it's an offer that's not their problem. They are not looking to build a website; they are looking to
Yep.
generate it, and that's what was the light bulb moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now going on now to June, this is when now we drill down into our ideal customer and what they actually want, understanding that person, who they are, and now coming up with really great ideas in terms of what they want. And I think strategy call, that's when we started off with the strategy call, and now our MQL and SQLs. That's when we started now drilling down onto that, pouring money into it. And we started seeing very good results in that month. I see, and this campaign started off in May 24th, right? May 24th. That's when we started the SaaS Growth Guide lead campaign. And we had 46 leads coming through that SaaS Growth Guide campaign. Now, going into where we actually got most of the leads from, we were getting them from Google Ads checklist and also the user growth explosion guide. And this was very interesting. I think here it's where we started now seeing, people becoming very much interested in what we are offering. The people who are coming through now are a little bit better, higher potential clients. I don't know whether did we close any deal in June?
Yeah, and this is where it got really interesting because what we started to see was that with our lead forms that were generating the results, we were generating a whole heap of Google Ads checklists and a whole heap of SaaS user growth guide checklists. And we had some amazing deals, some amazing SaaS companies come through the door. What I found though, with the deals that came through in this month was that most of the people that came through the door into our database were all from the MQL LinkedIn growth guide. What's really interesting though, and this is something that in hindsight, it's all super clear, is that we didn't have, and we still don't really have, like a LinkedIn specific offer, which I feel is something that we are still working on. Like, what is a great offer that we can offer, a SaaS company or even an enterprise to really nut out their LinkedIn advertising solutions? So what I saw, there was a lot of submissions. There was lots of forms downloaded, people coming through type forms, booking strategy calls. We've got some deals which could eventuate in the future in out of that month. But like what we started to see again was that we found efficiency and performance in our Facebook ads.
Mm.
We saw some great deal opportunities come through. Didn't quite close any of them. They went a bit MIA. It was the end of financial year, so it may be the right time for me to pop in, see how things are going coming into the final quarter of the American year or the second quarter of Australian financial year. So
Mm.
there is a great opportunity here. So, guys, that's just a bit of a recap in regards to how we went in terms of our direct response efforts. Now, if you're
Mm.
wondering, were we just running MQL campaigns? No, we weren't. We were running our T2, D3 strategy call campaigns, which are the ones which we offer on every podcast. If you are wishing to go about scaling your business from where you are today to 3x within the next 365 days, we are the people to help you to funnel a stupid amount of new users into your SaaS. If you want to go about doing that, jump onto the show notes, click the T2D3 growth call questionnaire, fill it out. Let's jump on a call and see if we can help you stuff your Christmas stocking full of new users for your SaaS. But back to where we were, what's really key here is that that's where we were. That's what our months look like. Now, since then, we jumped across to the new financial year. Now, this is what's really exciting. We've changed the way we do marketing as a team at Owen Denny. In April, we were fragmented as a team running our own agency ads. Yeah, we had great organic content. We had a great podcast. We did the odd AdWords campaign. We did the odd Facebook leads campaign. But really, it was through the crisis of 2023, which we created by ourselves mistakenly, that we ended up doing what we had to do, right? However, guys, what's really special here, and I say really special because of the fact that we're really thrilled with how we've turned things around, is that we decided to do very simple things. We decided to take some of our own medicine, which we applied to our clients, to our own business, and guess what happened? Everything started to work for us. So let's just talk about some of the main differences about this quarter versus last quarter to begin with, and then we can go into the data. We made 3 crucial hires this quarter. The first hire was a video editor. So funnily enough, believe it or not, the person that was editing the videos for our own agency, for our own Owen Denny campaigns was me. I was literally getting Hannah to shoot the video. I would then jump into the script, something which I'm not competent in doing, spend hours putting subtitles and all sorts of junk on the things so they looked cool, and I, gave it all these pretty sound effects and all sorts of stuff. But I was giving it a crack. I was just doing it, and I was doing what I needed to do. So the first thing we managed to do was find a great asset that can support us with our video editing. So we've now got Jason on board. Jason now helps out our clients, and he is an amazing person. That was the first major hire we made. The second hire we made, which is about to go live, is getting an email copywriter in to write our weekly emails. I'm a direct response copywriter, but I'm now a manager and I'm now a marketing leader. I don't have time for that. And believe it or not, there's a huge difference between writing landing page copy and sales page copy and email copy. And we recognize that as not a strength of our business. So what we decided to do was hire an absolute elite, top level gun email marketing copywriter, because of the fact that we're like, hang on a second, if we're generating 100 new contacts into our database every single month and we're not nurturing these people with a weekly email, we are literally wasting money not speaking to these people. And then the third massive hire for us was SEO. And we decided to get a full-time resource inside the agency doing some amazing on-page and off-page optimization work. So there's some really important things that we are doing as a team collectively together now. And that wasn't it. So probably I'm going to ask Sam to talk about this, but we've also done things a little bit differently too, from the way we coordinate our marketing team. We now include not just Sam and I in the marketing team. How many people were at our last marketing meeting? And Kathleen wasn't able to make it. So, but how many people were there, Sam? It was yourself. It was
You
me.
know, me,
Who else
you,
was there?
Hannah was there,
Yep.
Jason was there.
Yep.
So I think
And
Catherine was
Anna
supposed to be
and
there.
you've
Swadesh was SEO.
Swadesh.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, I think these the virtual team that we have now, it's a real team, and it's a strength that that we are now starting to see bearing fruit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that process growing into that is a time when we were actually doing it, testing the things that we need to do, whether it's you doing the editing of the videos and us seeing, oh, these videos are generating us good results. We need to have somebody doing these things a little bit better, far much better than we can do. We
Yep.
need it to be done professionally. And that's now where we hire that person. And I think it's very important. That process is very important for any business, you know,
Mm-hmm.
at whatever level. It's very important for you to bootstrap your budget or your team, you know, bootstrap your business until you can prove this thing is working, you know, see some results and then hire. So let the need dictate the people you are bringing onto your business, because sometimes I think people go onto paper and think, I need this, I need this, I need this person, and then you hire them, you bring them on board, and you don't know what they need to do, you know, you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what they need to do, because you know you're probably a new business. This is a new thing that you're trying to do, and without you having tested it and tested what exactly it is that you want, because there is planning and strategizing, and then there is execution, and those are two different things, you know. You can discount the time and the energy you spend in building out your strategy, building out your plans, but your plans can go up in smoke the second you start executing.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you start executing, especially in digital marketing, there are so many things that needs to be like you're doing it on the fly, you know.
Yep.
If you find that the creative that you wanted is not really driving the results that you want to be able to change it very quickly. So your
Mm-hmm.
strategy cannot be static. Your strategy
Mm-hmm.
has to be something that is dynamic, that you're adding onto it. You know, I remember there are things that we said in this month we are going to do. Then once we execute something, then we realize, you know what, this thing, we are not going to do this thing this month because this is working probably better than we thought.
Yep.
It doesn't fit now into what we've grown into, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the learning that I got there is that marketing, your strategy has to be very, very dynamic. You have to
Mm-hmm.
grow into things, you know, grow
Mm-hmm.
into the different whether it's like what we are doing with Jason, editing and the creatives, you know, that he's doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Things that we were trying to do on our own until we proved that they are working.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can have somebody who's professional about it, and now they can do it professionally, and then we can scale it that way. So I think that was very, very, very important
Yep.
for us to do. And it was something that even now, you know, even with the people who are watching this and listening to this, it's very, very important that you know, wherever you are and you're trying things on your own is very important. We also understand now, even with our own clients, and that it's better to have somebody who have tried it
Mm-hmm.
because they understand the journey, as opposed to
Yep.
somebody who has this fairy tale type of social media marketing fairy tales. They think they are going to throw in some money and creatives and things will work out for them. Because if it doesn't work like that,
Mhm.
they will get disappointed in the process once they realize what the process entails. But somebody who have tried it, somebody who knows the challenges that come with marketing, those are the best people to deal with. Those are the best clients to deal with because they understand.
Mhm.
They understand the challenge. They understand the process,
Yeah.
and it's so easy. It's so easy to work with somebody like that. So for me, I would say if somebody is listening to this and they haven't yet started, trying out Facebook ads, I don't know who that could be.
You
Right
never
now,
know who's listening to, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
where all our listeners come from.
yeah, but go ahead and try. Go ahead and try it on your own.
Mhm.
Fight with your team, see
Yep.
opportunities of growth so that when you're investing in an agency, when you're investing in that strategy, you understand the direction that it could go.
Yep.
I'm definitely sure there will be changes that will be happening, but at least you understand the direction, the trajectory of your business. You understand these are the things that we've tried, they have failed. What are you bringing on board? And those are important questions even for you to ask, even when you are trying to hire an agency. What are you
Oh
bringing
yeah.
on board? We have done this, we have done this. What new can you bring on board? And then now you are able to identify the best person for you, for
Mm.
as a business. So I think that was a great learning for us.
It
And
was
even
massive. Yeah.
and even yeah, even in that month, understanding that that's the point where we realized we are also getting so many agencies actually filling up our form and downloading our MQLs.
Yeah. That
So
was
it's like we are giving them a lot of ideas. It was
yeah,
very interesting.
it's interesting, and like when you see agencies downloading your own lead magnets, it can only mean two things. Number one, they're either genuinely interested about what we know about our products and services and the skills that we have, which they can then go about bolt on and replicate, or they don't know how to go about generating leads for themselves. So,
Yeah,
like, there's always funny, bittersweet feelings when you see other people downloading your lead magnets, but it's just part of the gig. So,
yeah,
okay, we really learnt the art of teamwork, and that was probably the big thing here in this quarter because without that teamwork, we haven't been able to. Whenever we've had to build a campaign historically, we've had to drop everything. Now we've got a full team doing it. Hannah's writing the copy. Jason's developing Jason's developing the editing for the videos, and he's developing new creatives. I'm literally just jumping on a um, I'm just jumping behind a camera and speaking a lot of the time. As a team, we strategize we develop the strategy together. We then go about executing against the marketing calendar. And it's through that weekly cadence of meetings. It sounds so silly and it sounds so stupid. I've never been one to advocate for meetings, but when it comes to your marketing calendar and it comes to your marketing team, you are crazy not to do it. And this is my belief because I'm a huge proponent of rework. The book written by Jason Fried, the founder of Basecamp, he developed like literally the Bible for remote work, as far as
mm,
I'm concerned. But the one thing I've noticed is that if you've got proactive missions inside of your business, and I say proactive, not reactive, because if it's reactive, it's already a pseudo emergency, and people need to be on top of things in a
yeah,
reactive environment, and that's why Slack is powerful. But when it's a proactive um, endeavor or initiative inside your business, whether it's your SEO campaigns or it's your Facebook leads, it's whatever, you need to do that weekly meeting so everyone knows what's expected of them each week. And to get
yeah,
everyone working together because, you've got different personalities, different cultures, different time zones, different people, different genders. Like it's just, it's a lot. You know what I mean? Luckily, we
yeah,
chose an amazing work environment where we get different opinions, but similar we get different opinions, slightly different worldviews, but everyone loves marketing and everyone wants the business to grow. And that's why it's great
yeah,
for everyone to be there. But like,
yeah,
it's so crucial. Just catch up once a week, have an agenda. It takes 5 minutes, but have an
yeah,
agenda, catch up every week. Takes a bit of preparation. Look at your marketing calendar. and again, I'm going to make a song and dance about this. Make a marketing calendar and execute against your marketing calendar. It's really simple. Then you can actually test and measure your shit. Like it's not rocket science. So let's give some numbers to the audience as to how we went with this month. So in terms of total revenue for the month, we had a slowish month, but it's still much better than where the agency landed last year. So just to give everyone full transparency over our books, we don't normally disclose this, but we are a multi-six figure agency in terms of the Australian dollar, and that all our revenue figures are pre-GST. So add an extra 10%. That's what our true revenue is. For the last financial year, we just came shy of 300 grand, which means that our average revenue, average month was about $25,000 a month. That's just where we sat. And that was due to many reasons. We had some good months. We had some shockers. We had some real dramas in the business. We had some amazing clients. We had some fiascos. I was absent for 1 month because I was out on my honeymoon and got married and all sorts of bloody gizmos. But this month, a slow month, so you could add an extra 10% on that. We did 36. Wow. Which is freaking great in the grand scheme of things, considering it was a slow month. We've scaled up the business. We've acquired the right customers. And based on what I can see in our month for July, we just looked after our customers and we did it exceptionally well. We closed one person through Facebook ads, which was amazing. We saw, we've retained some amazing people in terms of our coaching clients. We delivered some great projects. We upped our prices for some clients, which is just part of the game. We did some little ad hoc projects here and there. And that's how it all happened. It was quite a good month. And, if you think about that, we practically did 40 grand in our first month of the year. That's like almost 2x what our monthly average was for the previous year. So if we keep this up, Sam, we have a $500,000 agency. What's up? I don't even know how to do the sound effects. So that's just what had happened. But it's really funny because we've, even though we did all these great sales, we had bills to pay from the last financial year. There was accounting fees and all sorts of crazy shit. So it's really funny. As a founder, I know I didn't really want to talk too much about finance and all that shit today, but I'm just looking at it. It's oh, great. We did all this money, but then you're like, why are my expenses so high? So then you're like, it's so funny as a founder. You're going to see, oh shit, I just dropped 4 grand on marketing. Oh shit, I've got all these bills to pay. All of a sudden, I'm going to pay my wife. I'm going to pay myself. I'm going to pay Sam. I'm going to pay the whole team. And then you're like, where's all the money gone? Lesson learned, kids. Always have a credit card. It comes in handy. I know a lot of people advocate against it in the entrepreneurial world, but that's what it is. So let's just talk about our July numbers. We attracted some high quality customers that month. We had one person come through from Facebook ads, which basically paid for itself. And what's interesting here, guys, is that some of our projects are strategy, which are once-off payments. Some of our projects are small recurring revenue, which has an initial setup fee. And some projects may be web, which may have a 3-payment approach. And what's interesting, guys, is that when you're selling B2B services, it's so easy to get twisted when you're like, oh man, I don't know. I just spent 5 grand on ads and I only got one customer and it was $1,000 a month. And you think that your Facebook ads is a complete failure. But guys, lifetime value game. It's so difficult to justify your spend on Facebook ads as a B2B business a lot of the time, purely because of the fact that you just got your reporting twisted. You think that you're meant to get cash on cash, $1 in, $1 out straight away. But realistically, if you look at it from a lifetime value of a customer perspective for a SaaS company, for us, that could be $40,000, if not $100,000 over a 2-year period. Now, if we spend 5 grand or even 10 grand on ads and we generate 100 grand in revenue, are we freaking geniuses or what? I would say we are. And if you saw that statement in your own company, I think you'd be a genius too. So you just got to know what your lifetime value is when you acquire these customers, and then ensure that you're not taking too much of your gross profit out of it when you factor that in as a top line revenue expense, and then you're pretty much
Mm,
kosher. You know what I'm saying? So, um, from what I see in the ads in July, 74 contacts, $42 a lead. So our lead cost kept on going down as we got better at creating these videos, editing these videos, focusing more and more on particular campaigns which generated the results. Now,
mm,
in July, I'm going to just break it down very quickly as to what were our performing campaigns. So we had our very first real video based campaigns that would generate huge results. And what we did, and this is a real easy hack for everyone to drop and do in their business, is if you've
mm.
got a free guide, if you have like a checklist or a diagram or a course or whatever, the fastest, easiest, most spectacular way to develop a creative that always converts is shoot a Loom video of you talking through the guide and how it all works and where they can download it. Was
Yeah,
that the quickest, easiest, fastest way to convert a whole heap of people into marketing qualified leads? I fucking
yeah,
think so.
yeah. And it's so interesting that the simple things that you can do are actually the ones that work really well, and understanding, and that's a trait that that everyone here has to understand, that people are now consuming videos
Mm-hmm.
far much better than any other type of content.
Yep.
So as we go in, and as all these technology developments are coming in, people have to invest in the type of videos that they are doing, because that's the type of content that is generating the sales. That's the type of content, in once 30 second, 1 minute videos, you're able to capture people's attention and highlight the solutions that you can give them in a way that is understandable.
Absolutely.
It's I, people are not into text as much as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
People want to
Mm-hmm.
watch as they go, because people are on their phone. So definitely video is something that came in handy. That's one type of creative that has changed the way we are getting the leads and even the quality. And it's interesting that videos, just not changing the targeting, not changing the copy,
Mm-hmm.
not changing the copy, not changing the headlines, just changing the creative from static images to videos. And we started
Yeah.
seeing higher value clients or
And more
leads.
of them as
So,
well. Volume
and more,
and yeah, it was more, like so much more, and the cost plummeted.
yeah,
Like
and
Sam, yeah, like Sam, like sorry to cut you there, man, but like we were talking like 40 something, $50, $60 a lead. It went down to $16 per lead for our Google Ads checklist, and our LinkedIn guy was at $20 per marketing
yeah,
qualified lead coming through the
that
door.
that
It
you
was
know
freaking nuts.
and that's where now we started seeing videos is working. There is something happening here. We need to like look into it, and things started happening. I think this is the month where now we were starting to see real success coming through, understanding, because we had already had a very good copy, in terms of the text,
Mhm.
the primary text, in terms of headlines. We knew we had something good. In terms of the offer, we had something good. Or definitely we came later on, we came up with better ways of selling what was actually working, and we are going to
Mhm.
go into it. But in terms of the MQL and the our LinkedIn mastery lead magnet and Google ad checklist, I think having a video to sell those lead magnets was a breakthrough, and
Mhm.
was something that really helped us to see what is actually working for our audience. What do they want? And you
Mhm.
might think that, because you're doing B2B type of marketing. Probably these people are not on Facebook. They are not, but they're there. It's just that you haven't gotten the right way to communicate to them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And whatever you're doing is good, but these are people who are probably very busy. They are on Facebook to go through it in a very short time, probably 5 minutes to go through, and then they are out of that platform. Now, in that minute, when you get them, you have to like hit them with what your offer is, and show them value. Show them value at that point.
Mhm.
And video has the ability to do that. Video is able to give people value. The way you present is very important. I think talking to people is just what makes them take action when you're talking to people. So people have to start creating videos, talk to your audience, let them see that you actually understand what you're talking about. Let them see that whatever you are offering is actually something that is there,
Yep.
because I usually say when you're marketing online, people are apprehensive. They are always questioning. Do you really know what you're saying? Do you really can this thing work for me? And
Yep.
is your work as a marketer to actually pull down those walls?
Mhm.
Pull down those
Yep.
walls, pull down those objections, and you can only do that through communication. And video
Mhm.
gives you a very good opportunity for you to communicate the value that you are offering.
Yeah, and here's an interesting thing for the listeners who are tuning into this or watching this wherever they are around the world. Here's what's really exciting. Sam and I saw this as a breakthrough, but it's not like we've reinvented the wheel or we've come up with something extraordinary like quantum physics here. Like it's
Yeah,
sometimes your biggest breakthroughs are some of the most boring, obvious things that are just placed in front of you. And
yeah,
often or not, you are generally like one split test away. You are one creative test away from striking gold a lot of the time. And what I'm wanting to articulate here is don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcook the goose. Just get real simple about your creative strategy when it comes to running your direct response ads to see
mm,
how to get people into your funnel, because we found
yeah,
some exceptional people in our funnel through these small minor tests, and you can do the same thing. It doesn't take much. Shoot a Loom video of your lead magnet, shoot a Loom video of your amazing course, shoot a Loom video of whatever you do, and voila, you have
yeah,
much better opportunities to really crush it online. So I think, Sam, that was a massive thing for us that month. And, I think what we started to see here was that, okay, great, we've nailed this lead volume game. We generated more leads, we spent less money, and then at the same time we were generating SaaS leads as well. And this is
yeah,
where it got really exciting, and I think this is probably the most exciting part of our campaign. We actually generated 2 sales from this month, which the sale was carried through to September, but it was one of our big SaaS clients that came through, Digital Mass. They came through
mm,
this Facebook ad campaign. Now, what's interesting here is that they came through our lead magnet, the SaaS user growth explosion guide. So
mm,
the customer is Digital Mass. They saw the growth guide. They were looking at inquiring an agency. They were already in market looking for a marketing agency. They decided, hey, we need a growth agency to work with us. Our lead magnet popped up. They checked it out. They're like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. They then saw a
mm,
few of our emails. They then clicked on to book a free call with us. He jumped on a call. We did a Google Meet. It was a two-call sales approach. Once we did the second call, he went a bit MIA. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of September, he gives me a call on a Friday morning. He goes, hey, Dan, how you going? How are things? I'm like, good, Andrew. I'm like, it's a no here. Oh, no, we really love everything that happened, and we're going ahead with you. I'll give you, just shoot me the thing, and we'll go ahead and we'll pay everything and we'll get it all sorted. I'm like, what? Okay, because I thought he went MIA. But what's really cool here is that month paid for itself well and truly. And that's the cool part about it. But again, lifetime value, we're geniuses. So what I'm trying to articulate here is that, lifetime value, boring breakthroughs, as we call them, little things like just shooting some Loom videos can transform the way you do shit. It's amazing. And what was really interesting was that, our growth guide and our T2D3 strategy calls, but they both generated clients that month. But what it goes to show here is that if you're a marketing agency or if you're a B2B business, there is still a place, depending on the buying cycle, of course, because I don't want to really go too deep on whether demand generation or lead generation is better, because that's its own series of 15 podcasts. But like our lead generation approach, where we social ads, upsell to a strategy call to a conversation, that conversation then turns into a next steps plus solution development and close call, back and forth with questions, and then deal done, all rounded up in that month. Now, this month was even better than the previous month. So we got close to 40 in that month, but this month we got right over the top of it. We did 38 grand. So that was like $42,000 if you factor in GST and all that stuff. So it was another big month. But you know what's really interesting about August as a month, Sam? And this is what you learn when you're the business owner, sadly. It was a 5-week month, which meant that we had 3 lots of pay slips to go through instead of 3 fortnightly pay slips and another weekly pay slip. So our operational expenses blew up by a factor of like 25 or 30%, purely because of the fact that we had a 5-week month. So what did you learn here? Okay, 5-week months. We need to make sure that we make more deals happen. 1. Number 2, we need to be accounting for the fact that we're spending more in a 5-week month. And then number 3, it's just part of the game. But again, smashed it. We freaking smashed it. Absolutely dominated. New customers, deals done, the whole shooting match. That was a big month for us, and we could be really proud of it, So that's again. But guess what? We decided, okay, video. We tested video. Video's working like freaking crazy. We're still running our SaaS growth guide. We're still running our T2D3 growth calls. These video campaigns didn't convert any customers straight away, and they're going to be our MQL campaigns, right? But our growth guide and our T2D3 growth call, they did convert customers, more expensive leads. So probably what it tells you here, listeners, is that you might be able to generate a shitload of cheap leads. It doesn't mean that they will turn into customers right away. But you may be spending a whole lot on expensive leads, and they might be junk anyway. So always think about not only the quantity of the leads coming through the door, but look into the quality of those leads. So it's the quantitative and the qualitative. Super important. That's why you need to use a CRM like HubSpot. We love it. We advocate it. We pimp it out. We maximize this shit. And if you need help with your own SaaS CRM and you're looking at your options, give HubSpot a go. Shoot us a message, whether it be via Instagram, Facebook, or jump on our website, or even just go to the job notes and book a free call with me. We could talk about how we're using HubSpot. We can even pop the hood on our own CRM and help you get your business growing. All right, now.
So, and I think it's very important. Yeah, it's very important because it gives you that customer journey, and you're able to understand where you are with your marketing. Because if we look at what's happening there, if we were to talk about what happened in the month of July and measure it in terms of what the number of deals that we closed in that month, we would have said this marketing didn't work, but 2 months later, we are closing deals from marketing that we did in that month. So it's very important for anyone to understand their own customer journey. Understand from the time they see your ads, they click on it, to the time they close. And this is where HubSpot now comes in handy. You can see the first interaction they made was by clicking on this ad. They clicked on this ad, they filled up this form, you send these emails, and this is how they came to be. Understanding that whole journey helps you optimize your marketing, and knowing that the marketing I'm doing this month, I'm going to get those deals probably in December. That's where I'm supposed to be measuring what I'm doing today. Now, depending on each business's customer journey. So understanding that is key, and probably you can do that any better if you don't have a CRM such as HubSpot.
Oh, 100%, Sam. And that was just July. Like it was a like it was a big it was like oh sorry, August was just like such a big month, and you know, we just really started to get these results in, and what we saw in July was that we generated leads which closed in September. And then in August we generated leads which still haven't come through yet. But what was really interesting in the August information here, if I pull up the ads, from the 1st of the 8th through to the 31st of the 8th, 81 leads, $27 a lead. And this is when we made a very intelligent tactical decision. And this is on that qualitative versus quantitative component of today's call. We decided to turn off our highest lead volume campaign. And it was pretty simple. We didn't see any sales conversations come from these first touch points. But it's interesting because we do have a customer or a client who's likely to go ahead with us who did come through it. So what's interesting is that there is a SaaS company. I can't name them. We haven't finalized the paperwork yet, but they are likely to go ahead in the next couple of weeks. What was really interesting is that they came through our MQL guide, our marketing qualified lead guide for LinkedIn, and they're a SaaS company because they wanted to know how to do it. And then they found out they were a SaaS agency, and then they downloaded all our stuff and booked a call. So with the CRM, you can see that, they did this, jumped on your website, then they downloaded this, they opened up all these 5 emails, they shot me an email, they then booked a call using Calendly, and now here we are. Wham, bam, Allah, Shazam. And that's really important to see that, but we've made a tactical deviation to turn those campaigns off. But you can see July, our cost per lead was, let me hand it to you on a silver platter, was $41 per lead aggregated across the entire account. In August though, guys, it went down to $27 a lead. Now, if we dig deeper into our SaaS video growth campaign, these campaigns were still doing $17 and $20 marketing qualified leads, which was pretty powerful at the time. But what we started to do in our SaaS growth lead campaign was we started to see a real drop and a real dip in our cost per lead here. It went down to $32 for our SaaS user growth guide. Now, what was fascinating here was that we thought we did something really massive and really different that month, but we didn't. It was still our static creatives. And it literally halved itself in a single month. Now, this was the campaign that gave us the best results in terms of the highest quality leads. And what I want to articulate here, guys, is that you can run the same campaign month in, month out. One month it might do 30 leads at, say, $30 a lead. And then the next month it might do 5 at like $500 a lead. And then the next month it might just go back up to 45 leads at $20 a lead. And that's just part of it. It's going to be inconsistent. But is it moving the needle forward fast one month and slow the next? But if it aggregates, it's like a light jog. Yeah, that's great. Perfect.
And I think one of the learning here is that, even probably for us as an agency, the question we should be even asking ourselves is, did we turn off those ads, without giving them the real duration that they could have performed, because without understanding the customer journey.
Yeah,
because now in hindsight, looking at the deals that are coming through this month and last month, and understanding that these deals are coming from those MQLs, that gives you an insight that
Yeah.
the marketing you did in 2 months ago could be leading to sales 2 months later. And it's for you to understand. Once you can understand that data, you are able to optimize your campaigns. Because I'm definitely sure we are going to look back into the data itself for our own agency and see, what are changes that we can do, even coming into this holiday season and coming on to 2024. What are things that we can actually look back through that year and implement them, scale them, and to get more clients through the door. So it's very important to understand what I'm seeing there with our own experience is that it's very important to understand the customer journey, that lead nurturing journey that you have to go through. And this is the reason why understanding your email marketing is key.
Yep.
Because once you acquire that customer, you want to keep on emailing them until such a point where they now, are sold on to, and they can become your customers basically. So it's important to understand. HubSpot helps you understand that customer journey, helps you understand which campaigns, which ads, which offers are working for your business, even if it's way back. Once you start utilizing it, you can go back in a year's data and understand, oh, this lead that I've closed this year, it is actually somebody who clicked on my ad last year or last month, and that understanding that journey will help you understand what's working and what's not working. And from even that, you could see that, it's you're able to let campaigns that are working run without you, probably turning them, turning them off before you give them the time to actually prove themselves, because those creatives need to, any campaign that you're running has to prove itself by the number of the actual clients, in a way that affects the bottom line, the actual clients that it's generating, and your ability to understand that data and that data, analyze it, it's key, and you can do that without proper tools, right? So I think also another thing at this point to understand is have the right tools for your marketing. You understand your customer, understand what makes them move, or take action. That's important. And now once you have those things set out, you are able to understand, give patience. I usually say this. Most people don't have patience. They don't have patience. They are quick. They are quick to judge. If a campaign is not generating sales within a week, turn it off. 2 weeks, you're giving it 2 weeks, you're turning it off, because you don't have data. You don't have historical data about that. But if you're running something, if you're running your ads and you have HubSpot, you're able to know, okay, I ran this campaign for 2 weeks, I turned it off, but 2 weeks later or 2 months later, I'm getting the leads I got through this are the ones that are now converting. So you can go back and understand, okay, I need to allow these campaigns to run for a little bit longer, and for me to understand my customer journey. That, I think, understanding customer journey is an important aspect of marketing that you cannot discount in terms of analyzing your data.
Yeah,
What's working?
Can I even go to like a level on top of that as well, Sam? I would argue that not only is it the customer journey, but you also need to map out your customer journey against your buying process. So like not only do you talk about your own customer journey, which you develop, but how does that person like to buy? What does your conventional sales cycle look like? And ensure that you give the campaigns enough room to breathe, because we often the more you micromanage a media platform, the worse things get for you. Like there's the meme that you often see on Facebook about Chad targeting, which is like what everyone thinks is like, bro internet marketer targeting, where you just like hit it with broad, $500 a day, just let it breathe and let it just make massive results. And it's there is some truth to it, like you need to give your campaigns a budget. So you can't half-ass a campaign. You can't just go put $20 a day for a week and expect to be a .com millionaire next week. It just won't happen. Number two, you need to you need to you need to give yourself enough budget a day. You also need to give yourself enough budget total to test a marketing idea. You have to have really clear goals around what you're doing, but you have to ensure that you are really pragmatic and reasonable around what do we expect the customer journey to look like? How does that person like to buy? How does their buying process normally work? Are they in a complex B2B environment? Are they the owner of the business? So it's essentially a direct-to-consumer sale. And that's a completely different conversation for another day. But, I think there's a lot of complexities when it comes to selling directly from business to business versus business to business when you're dealing directly with a founder or a business owner. There is a real nuance there. And depending on the size of your business, you have to actually tailor your B2B marketing and your B2B sales approach. So that's a massive conversation for another big day of podcasting between you and I, Sam. We can talk about that another day. But what I want to get to here, and you're so right, is that know your customer journey, know your research, execute against a plan with structure so you can test and measure every single month how you went, how you performed, what worked and what didn't work, because then you're able to see exactly what happens, which brings us to our final month of the quarter, which is exciting because we actually pulled back on our spend. So I started to look at the bills and all that sort of stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. We need to pull back just a little bit in our spend and regroup a little, because we were getting really good results with our lead form campaign. But what I started to see was that our cost of our lead form campaigns for our SaaS MQLs and our T2D3 growth calls started to rise, which when we started to see that, we recognized, okay, maybe we've exhausted the creatives. Maybe the offer needs to be renamed or rebranded, which is an easy way to give basically the same product more life. Then there's a quick one for you guys. If your offer's not working, just rename it, give it a slightly different angle, and voila, offer still works. There's a golden nugget for everybody. But we started to pull back on our spend. But what was interesting is that we started to see the deals come to fruition from the previous months and what we were able to make that month. Believe it or not, Sam, we crossed in the excluding GST category. We crossed 40K for the month. So big, one of our biggest months ever. And that means it was about $45,000 top line revenue. Let's fucking go. Well, yes, team, we fucking are going well. That's exactly the way we want to see things. We had some great customers come through that month. Obviously we've got the right customers getting built at the right time, all that sort of thing. But again, it just came back to like us looking at the deals in the pipe, nurturing those deals and seeing what comes across. And here's the kicker. There's two more deals. There are two more deals that could go through, which have to be marked against last month. So it could even be bigger. So we've got two big SaaS companies, which could come through as well. No, sorry, three, which will all be marked against that month. So we may actually have a $50,000 or even a $55,000 month next month. No, for September. We can't quite qualify yet because we have to map that against the sales cycle. So, guys, it's actually pretty freaking exciting. We could have done our biggest quarter by much. The thing. What's interesting about Owen Denny, guys, is that we've been one of those agencies which has been really good in one month and then really shit in the next. And this was really, my view, That was our best quarter ever, but it was also our most consistent quarter ever. So I think what I really want to articulate to everyone that's listening today is that, can you see, guys, that we're learning like you? We're not just these pro marketers who can recite, The Desperate Nerd from Ohio letters by Gary Halbert, or, .com Secrets by Russell Brunson, or The Art of the Start by Gal Kawasaki, or, How I Built This. There's so much for us to learn with our own marketing, and you're in that same journey. And this is just a real honoring of the journey. Like we love being wrong. That's the beautiful thing about being a marketer, is that you can test stuff, get proven wrong, and then realize, oh, okay, I still have something to learn.
Yeah.
Like, I think, Sam, what do you like? If you broke it down, like, now where the agency's at and how it's all performing and all that, it's really interesting. Where I personally believe we've improved the most is my ability to relinquish control on strategy and pass things over to you, Sam. I'm just now the leader and coordinating the team a lot of the time. Our ability
and now you have
actually
strategize and come up with new things,
Yeah, because I'm not so occupied trying to micromanage each part of the journey. The next thing I'd like to say that we've really got on top of over the last 3 months in particular as well is that we now really understand how to properly brief everybody in the team for our own campaigns. We do it really well for clients, but briefing, learning the art of briefing your team members to execute is one of the toughest things, and it's one of the poorest done things within the entire agency landscape. The art of writing a creative brief, or the art of writing a copy brief, or a video brief, it's a real art form. And I remember at the start of this journey, you really struggled, Sam. And that's not saying that Sam's silly, listeners. This is actually just saying that great marketers struggle with this stuff. And
it's a learning process. Basically, I would say it's learning. You never get there. That's what I usually say. You never get there. You can't say now you know everything. It's always something that you need to learn. Some shoes you need to fit into. These platforms change like every week. There is something new coming up. There are new features coming on board. So it's a continuous learning. You have to be on top of things at every moment. So you never reach there. You never say, now I know everything. It's about 2 weeks later you'll be out of touch with what is happening at that moment. So I would say it's continuous learning, understanding that you never get there, never getting too carried away with your own successes, knowing that you might succeed this month, but next month, you'll be learning lessons, So understanding all that and understanding that this is part of the journey to success, it's the ups and downs, and taking them with a lot of grace, I would say. When you win, don't let it get into your head. When you lose, don't let it get into your heart. Just continue learning. Understand, when you win, learn. When you lose, learn. Always keep learning. Don't reach there. Once you start feeling like you've reached your destination, you start losing. So even as a business, and this is, I think, is an entrepreneurship lesson that everyone has to learn. That you might have the best service, you might have the best product, but it's in the marketing and in the way that you communicate that value that will determine whether you win or lose. So don't get carried away by the by how good your product is, by how good your service is. Understand
Yeah.
that you're talking to people, and the moment they feel understood, because that's key. The moment your ideal customers feel understood, that's when they start taking action. That's when they start interacting with you. So your aim as a marketer is to make sure that the customer feels understood,
Hmm.
and that now, because you understand them, you understand the solution that they require much better, you know. But
Hmm.
once you're going there, the problem, they feel like you don't understand what they are going through, that you don't understand where they are in their own business. That becomes a challenge, and that's the reason why it's very important to understand your customers at every point. And I think one of the learning, even in this analysis and this podcast that we are doing here, one of the things that I'm getting right now is understanding and appreciating the journey.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
it will
100%.
not be easy. You know, even when we started off this year, you know, and where we are currently and where we project to be at the
Yeah.
end of this year, you know, it's totally different
Yeah.
place. And I think it's our ability to even share our failures and our successes.
Hmm.
That's one way of us understanding, you know, we are all learning. When we
Hmm.
get into your business, when you are engaging with you as a client, we are learning with you. You know, we know what works, we know what doesn't work, but we have to identify what works for your business. Just something because it failed for us or it failed for some another business doesn't mean it will fail for your business. And it's having
Yeah.
that strategy for your own business that works for your own business. That's those are the those are the opportunities where you learn. Those are the opportunities where you come up with really good offers for your own customers, and
Hmm.
it helps you, get the results that you want. Because if most people think, I just want traffic. I just want traffic to my website, and but traffic is not going to pay your bills. You know,
Traffic's gonna cost you money, man.
yeah, no amount of clicks is going to pay your bills. So what you want is clients. What you want is clients at the end of the journey. So,
Yep.
and understanding the changes that have happened in these platforms, the ability that they have to get you the right person. You know,
Yep.
the person that you want, understanding that and understanding how you use it to get to that, it's
Yeah.
it's important. And I think that's where, as an agency, that's where we are good at. We are good at helping businesses identify what really works for their audience, understanding
Yep.
their customer avatar, understanding the offers that could work for them, testing them out, refining them, and growing
Mm.
that business. And also now, understanding uh, how is your customer journey. Once we establish that, from the moment they click on an ad, the moment they convert, once we get that right, we know what works, and we can scale it to another level.
100%. Um,
Hmm.
before we tune out here, I just think there's something really haven't mentioned today, and this is what's really powerful that we've made sure. Like, if it's no secret, guys, that are we are really gunning as our mission, our vision for the company is to be the the brightest, the sharpest, most in demand marketing agency for the SaaS vertical in the Southern Hemisphere. Like, that is our goal. That's our vision for Owen Denny, to be the number one SaaS marketing agency in the Southern Hemisphere. And what's really interesting is that we've built our website around that. We built our website with the goal of ranking number one for SaaS marketing agency. We built it with the goal of ranking number one for SaaS marketing agency Melbourne, SaaS marketing specialist, direct response advertising specialist, Facebook ads marketing specialist. And, it's interesting because we are a purely inbound advertising agency. Like, we don't have BDMs. I'm the only BDM, and I run the thing, and I'm in the trenches still every day, because that's the sort of guy I like to be. I love helping clients achieve massive success with direct response advertising, demand generation, and paid media. Like, we love this so much, and even fractional CMO stuff, but that doesn't really matter. But the fact is that for your success, even our success, there's only a few little things you may need to do to get that to happen for you. In our case, it's a matter of nutting out what we know, which is Facebook ads. It's a matter of nutting out, say, Google ads. It's a matter of ranking number one for 2 to 3 high intent keywords with not necessarily massive keyword volumes, but with strong transactional or commercial intent from an SEO perspective, and shaking enough of the right hands in the right networking events for us to be wildly successful. We don't need to pressure close people. We don't need to have a boiler room of Australians or Filipinos smashing out, cold calls to SaaS companies. We don't need to do bullshit amounts of direct mail. We only need to do a few things really, really well to have an agency that we love to work in, and I think that's what's key here. Like, we are doing everything we can to build an excellent remote culture where people love to be here. People love the projects. People are growing, and they're not working like all buggery. It doesn't have to be crazy at work, and that's our goal here. That if we build an agency where people love to show up to work, they work hard, but they don't kill themselves working hard. They enable to love their lives at the same time. We get amazing results for clients. But the fact is that, you got to really be clear on like what your view of success is. Identify how to go about reverse engineering your view of success. Like, my view of success, no offense to anyone who's listening to this podcast, isn't to work 100 hours a week and be Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's not me. I would much rather be 25 to 30 hours of really solid, structured, strategic leadership, 15 hours of guitar playing, 15 hours of sailing, and a beautiful time with my wife, and being able to work from anywhere in the world, read the books I want to read, work on the projects I want to work on, and have a multi 6-figure, even a 7-figure marketing agency. Like, that's my idea of success, and I'd be so freaking thrilled with that. It's not. I don't need to. For me personally, I don't like having anything more than 10 million a year. Would just seem superfluous to me. I'll be like, it wouldn't matter. Like, there's just so many O's I wouldn't care. But like, just having that right balance of lifestyle and projects that you love, and things that you're called to from a higher power. Like, that's what success is to me. And understanding that, I think, Sam, is really important.
Living in your purpose, living in your purpose in a way that is really not, you're not struggling to be in the place that you're in. There are people who are actually struggling to be where they are. And for me personally, I feel once you understand your purpose, once you understand and you grow into it, because one of the greatest challenge people have is that, you're not growing into what it is that you're called, or what you're called to do, and the people that you're called to serve. You're not growing into it and growing the ability to do it, So it always seems so hard for you. It's stressing you out, Then you need to spend so many hours doing it, So I think growing into your purpose, understanding your purpose, your business's purpose, and then growing into that, understanding that there will be highs and there will be lows, and it's okay, You're not going anywhere. For me, I usually say I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be doing digital marketing. So when it is up, I'm there. When it is down, I'm there. I'm not going to any other industry. I'm in this industry. That's where I'm called to serve in this industry. So I'm not going anywhere. You know, when it's up, it's up. When it's down, it's down. I'm more cool. You know, I'm
Yeah.
more cool because things will be up, things will be down, but I'm always learning. I'm always learning. I'm always better. I'm better today than I was tomorrow. That's my aim. Improve 1%
Yeah.
every day. Improve 1%, and you find yourself in a place where you are able to serve, and it's great working at all. And then I would say, as a person who's working in this agency, you know, it's great working here because even the meetings that we have, they're so nice. You look forward to the meetings, to the Mondays, to the Monday
Yeah.
meetings, you know.
Yeah. And
and
it's
and
really
and there are people, I know there are people who don't look forward to meetings, you know,
Yep.
like they feel that it's Monday, it's another week of meetings. I
Yep.
dread meeting my boss and having to strategize and things like that. But
Hmm.
you know, having a working environment where you're able to look forward to these meetings to understand what it is that needs to be done, you know, throughout that week, and then coming to the end of the weekend, you have done the things that you set out to do. You know, it's great.
Oh, bless Sam. That's so beautiful, man. Like living into your purpose. Holy smoke, that's amazing. We're gonna have some banger like Instagram reel content now. That was straight up bars, man. Whew. Like yeah. And by the way, guys, I didn't pay Sam to say that about Owen Denny. We do pride ourselves on having Ripper Mondays. But I
Yeah.
think on this, Sam, and I think this is something which I think the viewers will be rather interested to know that I think we're very lucky when it comes to the people we hire is because at the end of the day we really hire on three things: character, attitude, and skill set. Like they're the big
Mm.
three for us. Like has this
Yeah.
person is this person transparent? Are they open to admitting their mistakes? Do they have the positive mental attitude which will push people through the day?
Mm.
And do they have the skill set? Is the skill set at a point where we can improve it and take it from an 8 to a 9.5 or a 9.5 to a 10? That's
Mm.
basically what we look for at Owen Denny. And I think through the model we've chosen, we've been able to find motivated employees. Like we haven't really had to fire anyone recently on the basis, or even just let go of people on the basis of the fact that, they haven't got the right attitude or they're not fully integrated as part of the team. Like that's very rare for us because we do hire 99.9% of the time on those three character traits. And
Mm.
well, those three traits, character is one of the traits. But I think that's where we're very lucky. And I think if anyone who is listening to this is leading a marketing team, you have to know when to kick team members. Don't kick team members into the curb, kick them into gear.
Yeah.
And I always have this expression for myself where, when you're feeling down and out, or if you think the team's feeling down and out, you need to remind them of the big picture. You need to remind them that if this doesn't happen, these are the consequences. But that's not the fact. Don't focus on the consequences because you'll just manifest the consequences through your
Yeah.
subconscious
Yeah.
actions. Think about that
Mm.
big vision. Think about what we need to see. Okay, 10 leads a month, 20 leads a month, 40, 150
Awesome.
leads a month. You know what I mean? Like, and get them focusing on, okay, what can we do to generate leads? Write down the process, execute the process, test and measure, close the tab. If it doesn't work, go to the next thing. And like
Mm.
I think that honestly, when it comes down to it, you know, when it comes to running Owen Denny, is that we are so like hell bent on the right people in the team because one
Mm.
bad apple can spoil the whole barrel. And
Yeah.
I've found through my experience that if you have that one team member who's got a bad attitude, or I think it's just a downer to be around, and everyone just
Yeah.
doesn't feel like they're excited, or if they're emotional, or if they're going through some really tough things, like you have to be there for them. But like if that person perpetually throws bad attitude, or if their mind somewhere else, like if they're starting a side hustle or something like that, and it gets in the way of you being able to scale your business, it'll kill you, and you will never be able to scale and grow. And you learn these things the hard way in a B2B business, and it's a challenging thing to do. I think
Yeah.
that when it comes to growing a marketing agency, it's not like any of the other online business opportunities. It's not like growing an e-commerce business where it's basically scale up e-commerce ads, make sure you've got enough production capacity, or you've got enough product to fulfill the orders. So, there's a whole lot more to the business growth side of things, where it really depends on how you work with a full team to make this work, and then how do you get a team to go about executing the project. So there's a lot more teamwork. It's a lot more face-to-face, human-to-human, because the scalability of your business isn't solely just on running leads and then selling an inanimate object. It's about selling products which move and talk and breathe. So I find it very unique, this whole space in the B2B marketing space, in the agency game, because I personally believe that it forces you to develop yourself at a much higher rate than other online biz opportunities. That's just my perspective. And it's really, really fascinating, Sam, because I think that's really where, this journey's taken me personally. Like, I've been able to really force myself to grow, and that even though this is a podcast about okay, I'm going to tell everyone something that I've done differently this quarter, in fact this entire calendar year, with respect to other years. And this is going to shock people. I'm honestly going to think it's going to shock them. They're going to think, what the hell is going on, boy? And I am a little confused myself why this is the case. But my business has actually stopped has started to really grow since I've stopped reading books on marketing and sales. No. Just giving you the heads up. I want to emphasize this to everybody, that this is not the reason why it's properly growing. But what I do want to emphasize this, and this is, please take this. Whoever's listening to it, please take it. You can listen to all the podcasts in the world. You can read all the books by Seth Godin or Gary Halbert or Dan Kennedy or Gary Bencivenga. You can study all of Ogilvy's ads. You can do all the marketing stuff. You can do all the Jordan Belfort sales training, the Grant Cardone, the Jeremy Lee Minor training. You can read spin selling, challenger sales, bloody, you name it, this, that, and the third. You can read all of the books by the dude who wrote the 1 Minute Manager, Robert Kiyosaki, Think and Grow Rich and shit. But guys, if it doesn't get executed, if it doesn't get implemented, it's not self-help. Do you know what it's called? Shelf-help. It's help that sits on the shelf, that doesn't do jack shit for you, your life, or your bank account, or your six-pack. Nothing. It sucks.
Yeah.
So, like,
and this is very interesting that you say that, because my idea is always, if you gain new knowledge and you don't do anything about it, or you don't execute on it, you who have gained that knowledge and the person who has no knowledge at all, you are the same.
Yeah.
You are the same. It's just that you can talk big and you have big words, but you are all on the same level because you didn't execute. And it's the person who executes who actually, and even if they don't know, but they are executing in their own ignorance, they are much better because they are learning. They are learning out of that experience. And you can learn through two ways, learn from other people's experience or from your own, But when you read books, you get those strategies and all those ways that you can do things, and you don't do it. Really, you and the person who never read the book, you are still the same, and you there's nothing to show for it. It would have been better for you to take those dollars you used to buy the book and execute on a campaign, make mistakes on your own and learn. But it's very important for people to execute what they learn. The new
Yeah.
knowledge that you have acquired, put it to
Yeah.
use.
Absolutely.
Put it to use.
Hmm.
And the best thing is, every book that you read, understand that it's from that person's perspective. You know,
Hmm.
it's from that other's perspective. So you also don't want to like load yourself with all the books in marketing, all the book. Learn one strategy, execute. If it doesn't work for your business, go on and learn another strategy and execute. Now pick from this strategy, and from this strategy come up with your own. Write your own book then, because now you have gotten this perspective and this perspective, you've combined and come up with a very good things that thing that work for your business or works for
Hmm.
that industry. Then continue continue on now to share that experiences. And I think that's what we do, on this podcast. You share the experiences that you've had. It could be from books. You read a book and you're executing. You read another book and you're executing. You know, like if it's .com secrets that you're trying to execute and it doesn't work for your business, but you have learned something new from another book, and you pick that and you pick this from this other book, you combine and it works for you. You have come up with something new, you know,
Hmm.
something new, something different. It could be something new, it could be something different, and it's working for your business. And then you can share that with people, because I think also sharing knowledge is very important at this point, because people now start understanding what's working, what's not working, and you're able to help the industry become much better, because it's about making the industry better. It's about serving people. For me, it's about service. Serve people, and then you're going to get rewarded for it.
Hmm.
So find people that you can serve. One other thing that I've learned, even working with you and the whole team, is that there are people that you will not be able to serve and satisfy, and it's okay.
Hmm.
It's okay with that. So serve the people that you can serve, but serve them wholeheartedly. Put all your effort there to help them succeed, and it's when they
Hmm.
succeed, we were talking about this with you some other time, having focus on that north star for each client, understand their north star, understand what it is they are trying
Hmm.
to do, and then now craft strategies, and let's
Hmm.
go after the north star, and it's really really important that we, as a team, as an agency working with a company, get you know get focused on the things that actually work for that business, and
Hmm.
you will retain them for longer. Your lifetime customer value increases, just when you commit to serve. So it's very important to serve, to commit to serve, understand how you serve people, because that's the other thing that really confuses people. You want to serve, but you don't know how to serve those people. So
Yep.
you are always landing into problem with them.
Yep.
You're in an industry, you're trying to serve people, you're really not serving them the way they want, because there's this issue. People think that what you have is what people buy, but really people buy what serves them, you know
Hmm.
so it's very important to know, okay, this is the service I offer, but there is a way people experience it. There's
Yeah.
a way your customers
Mhm.
experience it, and it's that experience that keeps them going, that keeps them with you for longer. It's
Yeah.
that experience. So it's very important to understand that experience and give them that. Give your customer
Oh.
the experience they deserve, and you're going to keep them for longer. you know
Hmm.
and, and so don't be so hell-bent on the way you experience your own service. Like for us, we offer digital marketing services, but there is a way our client experiences those
Yeah.
services, in terms of the meetings we hold with them, the way we talk with them, the way we communicate, the way they
Yeah.
experience it. That's the reason why they're able to stay with us for longer.
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
I believe that is a key element for business success.
Oh, absolutely. And you've always got to remember that, you know, people's perception of your brand is always different to your own.
Yeah.
And, like we may perceive the brand as, it's this little company here or whatever. But, if people are coming through Google, they may think your company's as big as King Kong, you know,
Mm.
or they might think that you're the next Gary Halbert, or they may see you on little Facebook ads and may think you're like this little itsy bitsy competitor. But you can't control. You can do everything you can to control the perception through your marketing, right? Because
Mm.
perception is reality as far as
Yeah.
that person's concerned, but or that prospect's concerned, realistically. So
Yeah.
I think it's like really crucial that you don't get hell bent about the way you see it. It's all about the way they see it, and
Yeah.
get that North Star right. Execute on things that matter. Understand that knowledge is so important, but it's not so much the knowledge; it's the applied knowledge that really matters here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess like to round out this episode, like I think what's key here is that if you're listening to this, you're seeing a team go from a small business, a one-person show, to a growing business where basically that person, being me, was really bad at letting go of control. And as we've built this team, as we've entrusted each other and learnt to work with each other in this team, we now not just have a 2-person or 3-person marketing meeting. We have like a 6-person, 7-person marketing meeting every single week. We're proactive about growing the business. We're
Yeah.
proactive about our SEO, proactive about our Facebook ads, proactive about our offers and our strategy development and our positioning and our organic content. And, we now are working collectively as a team to make this work, by relinquishing control, by having structure, by having a vision, by understanding the North Star, by being able just to execute and not just fill ourselves with great ideas, talk a big game, and then just be no sting. We're
Mm.
able to actually go about smashing our growth targets, and everyone's happier. Everyone's
Yeah.
working collectively, and
Mm.
people feel like they matter and mean something, and they do. And guys, I think this is just if you are listening to this, it doesn't matter if you're an 8, 9-figure, 10-figure business. It doesn't matter if you're a plumber who's just trying to get like his next job over the line, or if you're a small business like us who's looking to scale from multi 6 to 7 vigs. Like, I just want to remind you that you know we're all learning, and you are learning too. Um, I think that's probably it for today, Sam. I think we've covered so much, man.
Uh, we've covered 2 quarters. We planned to cover only last quarter. We went back
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
but you got to do a recap, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was great, and it was great. And maybe as a wrap up is for people to commit and execute on the knowledge that you have. Commit and
Yes.
execute. Those,
Yeah.
execution that you get success.
Yeah.
And
I think.
and
Yeah. Let's
don't.
let's let's count it out. Let's count it out. So, guys, if you're listening, number one, whenever you learn something, commit to executing. Number two, teamwork actually does make the dream work. So build out a great marketing team. Number three, develop a marketing calendar. Hold yourself accountable to executing that marketing calendar and ensuring that the team is on board with the marketing calendar. Number five, boring can be a breakthrough. So just go about testing boring little things. Here and there, it does work out for you. Number five, always factor in qualitative versus quantitative. That's a big one. Number six, you have to recognize the way your people buy or your prospects buy and match that against your own customer journey and match that against your buying cycle so you know when you need to turn off your campaigns. Number six, no, sorry, I can't even count. Number eight is that you may just be like ranking. You may just need to rank for 1 or 2 keywords to change your entire fortune.
Yeah.
So if you know where your SEM
rush stats are, look at that high commercial and transactional intent, and just go about sandbagging those low volume keywords, build some domain authority, and get your bad boy ranking. Number 9, know what your vision is, communicate it to your team, and make everyone feel loved. And when you're feeling down and out, this is number 10, and I really want to make this like the emphasis point on today's episode of open source growth. When you're feeling down and out, don't kick yourself into the curb, kick yourself into gear.
Yeah.
Because if you know how to see yourself when you're feeling sorry for yourself, to be able to get yourself off the canvas, wipe the blood out of the mouth, spit it on the floor, and be like, come on, bring it, I think you're going to be in a much better way, So, man,
Yeah.
this has been 2 hours of juice and love, Sam. And I just want to say, for everyone who's tuned in to this bad boy for 2 hours, thank you so much. You're speaking with Sam and Dean, myself. We both work at O&D Digital, and we help out ambitious software company owners scale their product through the power of direct response advertising, demand generation, and growth marketing strategy. If you want to see your business double, or if not triple, within the next 365 days, we encourage you to reach out to us. In the show notes, you can see 2 links. If you know that you need to talk with a marketing agency, hit the book a T2 D3 growth call with me today. You'll be speaking with me, not a sales guy, not some fluffy person who doesn't know jack shit about marketing. We're talking about speaking directly one-on-one with a direct response advertising software as a service marketing veteran who can help position you from where you are to tripling that within 365 days. But if you just don't know where you are, you need some unbiased advice. You may just want to vet the agency you're currently working with to see whether or not it may make sense to change, or just want to see what you need to do in order to get your business to grow. Feel free to book a free friendly chat with me, 15 minutes, no charge at all to you. All you need to do is just jump into the show notes and click a link. It's simple as that. Thank you so much for tuning in to Open Source Growth today. We do this for you. And if you loved what you heard,